So yeah, so the new stream has started. God, we're hopefully gonna have a better network starting from tomorrow. I hope to get Starlink tomorrow. I'm literally broke. You know, you're broke tech bro. So hopefully we get Starlink tomorrow. Check out the previous video. This is just a continuation video. Right, so this is what we checked out in the last video, right? Where you have the resizable. So that is what we have. You have top down, which is not what we need. Yeah, this is what we need. You know, but we only want it to be like half size or something like that. But we don't even need the undo. I don't think we don't really need the undo. Right, so we just need this. And if we go to Zapier, right, if we go to the untitled, yeah, this one is not resizable. But what if we click on the details? The details is resizable, right? So the resizable part of it is hidden. This just seems to be like a normal bar, just like we have the top one as well, right? This side ones are like overlay, like on top, and yeah. So we're working on there's a note, right, and this side. So let's start that. So let's use resizable. So how do we use resizable? So just use the resizable panel. We import that. So now let's go to workflow editor. So on the editor page, we have to import this resizable, and then we copy this resizable panel. And this ReactFlow is going to go into now. Let's go to the localhost. We are opening too much. Here. Cool. So this is where it is. Just have to reload. Okay, yeah, there you go. We have this resizable panel here, right? But one thing is, I want this to be their panel, right? Like to be their, like should be absolute type, right? But also resizable, right? So that this sort of like resets, you know, and this can hide. So let's say, let's format this here. Let's say we have a class name of style, right? Like we're able to use it to the fullest, right? Until the hidden is removed and sort of come back. But then this one, we want this place to be node. What can we call it? Should we say node properties? let's say node settings, right? Node settings, right? Then we go into the node settings. Where we can have, it's okay like this. So node settings. So in here we have a new file called node settings.csx, right? React functional, and then you can import node settings here. So from node settings, let's go to Sharpscene again. There's something called, what do they call it? It's called, I think it's slider. No, not slider. Sorry. Let's check from the top. I think I should be able to remember when I say it. Draw comes from the bottom, so I don't think it's drawer that we want. So yeah, we don't want drawer. We don't need pop over. Yeah, we need sheet. Exactly, sheet. So we need sheet. So sheet is triggered by, it's triggered by like an action somewhere, right? But it has to be relative. We have to make it relative to the component. So let's add sheets. That should be in the node settings. We add sheets, and then let's copy everything inside of the sheet and put it here, right? And then we format this, and if we go back to the page, go to here, and I think it's this that's causing the issue for us. We reload the page, start the workflow. The problem is this is not showing, so we probably have an error in the console. Okay, it's showing now. Okay, that's one. Okay, so we have open that opens the sheet, right? I don't think we can use sheet, but let's try it out. Let's try it out. Let's say here we have a class name of relative. Click on the open, it still opens out of the box, so it's not using the relative aspect of it. But I don't really think we need sheets. I don't think we need sheets actually. We don't need sheets. We should just use this resizable as it is, right? And we can get rid of this main map. Yeah, we're not using sheets. So the sheet can go, the main map can go, background stays. And I think we can use the collapsible here, but let's start dealing with this node. Okay, so if we come here, there is a method that they have. I think it's node type. Yeah, node types, and we pass in is an object, and then we pass in a type. So, like you can see here in this node, right, in this initial node, we can pass in type. Alright, you can pass in type. So if we go to that is a node array, node. Let's see which node is using. No, not that node, not the node, not the is this node. Right, you see. So if I go type, you see type. So you see like all the properties that are available: area label, connectable, deletable, draggable, dragging, drag and do, expand parent, extend, focusable, height, hidden. So like we have hidden z index with type style, so we can style it, source position, target position. So we can set parent ID. So you can set all of this key. But what we want to set is a type. I will just set a type of node. Right, so that is what we're going to do for all of them. Is a type of what? Of node. Okay, is a type of node. And now one thing you see is that this as having label 1 2 is coming from here, which is where we're going to be putting all the data that is going to come from the database, like the properties, the title, and all those other properties that you're going to be using, right? So everything is going to go in there. Like if you go to Zapier here, you see they're able to save the app you used, the event you used, so that even whenever you reload the stuff, you're able to get it. The trigger, if you're selecting specific key or something like that, we might not do with selection of specific key for now, right? But we might still get there. And let's come here. You see you have accounts. They're able to save the accounts you're using, the action, the test, and there's N8N, right, which is an open source. It's open source as well, right? So they also have the same thing. So let's say we go to their GitHub. So I'll show you how anything does their stuff as well. We compare and contrast and be able to bring something out, right? So that we're able to build our own workflow builder. So yeah, so now here we say in the workflow we said node elements. That's it. So here we use memo. So let's use memo. So we do memo. Use memo here. Yep. Yeah. So let's create. Let me see if they React exports. Okay, memo. So we said the props are expecting. We are returning a div saying yes, a div saying hello node, right? Using memo. Prop types. Get rid of that. Map to state, map to this. Is doing any of those. We're exporting memoed node elements. So here we do node, and then we do node now, if we go back to Arc and to this page, you see now we're having hello node. That's cool. So let's see how they create card. Like let's use card in chat scene. So there's card. So we're gonna use card. There's card. Come on. Card. Okay. So this is how we build card. Right, this is how we build card. So let's go to node element. We import card. Then we paste in card. And we format this. So we do console the log props. So there are properties that the workflow editor sends to this node type, right? Which we're going to get. So if I come here, you see we have the card, right? And you see we're able to move these around, right? So, but this is not the way we're going to be having it, right? We're just going to be having the card title. We're going to be setting the width, right? And the handles have to show. So for the handles to show, let's remove the card contents. I don't think we need card contents either. So yeah. So then we have the width. Then we have the class name. We have width of 1/6. Let's see 5/6. No. 12. No, that's not good. Okay, let's set it to 200 pixel. Okay, to 300 pixel. No, 300. I said 300, not 3000. 300 pixel. Okay, good. So we need to put undo. So there has to be undo. So let's put this card in here, and then we have undo. That's coming from ReactFlow, and this is having a type, and you can see the type is what is source. So we can say source and position is bottom. The position is position dot bottom. Alright, you see now we have, and we can have here, we can have undo. Right, type is target, and position is position dot top. So there you go. Now you see the connection. So if you click on delete, the connection will get deleted. Actually. Come on. Why did that? Let's see, is the live stream still going? The live stream is saying is that, come on, please tell me we are not doing this. We are not wasting time with this. Tell me we are not wasting time. Tell me that, please. Please tell me. Please tell me the live doesn't get cancelled over and over again. showing you are live. Okay. Okay, we are live. Okay. I'm just curious because I'm seeing. Oh yeah, yeah. It's now syncing. Okay. So here we have to go back to the. Oh, oh. Oh, this is the one way. Yeah. So you see that the node is removed, and we can sort of like connect them together. Right, you can connect them together like this. You see, but what you're trying to do is that we don't want people to waste node. Just like in anything, you can add nodes, right, and connect them by yourself, right. But um, with Zapier, they automatically give you a position where you have like a button, then you had a node, sort of, right. So we need to be able to do that. So there's one thing that we're going to do is that instead of having just the type of node, we're going to say we have the type to be trigger and the type to be action. But they're all going to result to the same thing. Like they're literally going to result to the same thing. Let's reload this now. If we reload this, you see we might not get what we're looking for. Yeah, you see we're getting this old view. So we can come back here and say this is a trigger, right? And copy the same thing and say this is an action. So what is going to happen is we're going to use those here, right? We're going to use that type here. We're going to do that. So yeah, we're console.login, so let's inspect and see the props that we're getting. So we go to the console. One thing you notice is we're having, it looks like you have created a new node type or hedge. If this is written on purpose, please define the outside of the component or memoish them. This problem is what I'm having with ReactFlow. I don't know why I am having this problem with ReactFlow. I've used ReactFlow before, I've tried it out before, so I have this problem with it first time. So I don't know why. If anybody have any solution on that, please let me know. Because I'm adding. Yeah, this is the troubleshooting. I followed it. I memoish the node, but why that loads? Let's continue. So one thing that I want to do here is that for triggers, we don't want them to be able to like connect. For trigger, we only want for trigger, we don't want trigger to have two nodes, like two edges or two connections or two handles, right? We want it to have just one handle, which is the source. We don't want it to have the target, because if you come here, you see we're having target and we're having source. So the moment we define this type, right, to be trigger and action, we can use this type later in here, right? We can now use that in here to determine if we're going to show this and this, or we're just going to show the source only, because it's you can do props dots. Now for this prop, we have to use node props. Yeah. I think so. So here we now have access to data, to type. So we have type, ID, data. We have dragging, selected. So I think we just have to do props, right? And for this one, we have to do type equals trigger. No, equals action, then we want to show this. If it's an action, then we want to show this. But if it is not an action, you don't want to show that. So if you come here now, you see it's not showing at the top because this is a trigger. As we can see in here, is a trigger, but we're showing for just actions. So now we have this implemented. This is cool. Alright, so let's do something. Let's show the card title. Let's make that come from data dot. Let's use label, right? And the description should be data dot description here, and say the label is web catch webhook catch all webhook. So the second one, let's say it's send an email using Gmail, email in Gmail, whatever. So now if you go back to the page, expecting that, and let's add description as well. So description catch all post get put delete books send an email using Gmail. So this description is going to come from the event that we're trying to deal with. So let's reload this. I think the reload has to do with the issue that we are having. So if we go to ReactFlow.dev, that's not working. Let's make sure our streaming is still going. Yeah, still going. So ReactFlow.dev is not working for us. God. Okay, there's the extension. Yeah, you can see now we have the description and the title, but the title is just too big for me. Text and the text XS, and we have text foreground metered foreground, right? Yeah, like this. This is awesome. This is much awesome, right? And we want to truncate. So if the content is more than 300, we want to truncate. So let me just add some styles here, right, to see. Okay, that truncates. But we want to truncate. Just don't want to truncate. We want it to have like dots with the truncate. So we have like stars, right? And it's truncating that. I want it to have dot. So white. I think it's white space. No, no. I think it's we use text wrap. No text wrap. Ellipsis. Ellipsis. Truncate. Oh, it's not working. Let's say this. Yeah. Okay, so let me see if I say it's just truncate. Yeah. So that's cool. So and one thing we also want to do is that whenever we click on a node, right, we want to change like at one, like in next video we're going to start implementing uh, state management. Yes, I'm not so good with state management, but we're going to be doing that in this project. So we're going to be doing state management such that like we're able to build out the types for our workflow, right? The states for our workflow builder, right? And then like whenever we click on a node, we can set the state, just like they do here in Zapier. When you click on a node, you see it changes, right? It changes, and you can sort of close it, and you see. So whenever you click, it opens. It shows this pop-up. We're not going to be using this pop-up. Right? We don't want to introduce any more complexity. What we're just going to be doing is that we can do that, but we don't really need to. So what we can do here is that when we click, we can change the app right in here, right, and change the event in here as well. So you can change the app here and change the event. So you don't have to have to click on change and this have to open, and that pop-up have to open, and you have to select the app or something like that. You'll be able to do the searching of the app here, right, and that. So for the next app, so I'm just going to remove all this jargon, and we're not able to open ReactFlow. So this is what I'm going to do. I think we sort of have issue with I think it has to do with the network. So if we go to ReactFlow, we search Google for ReactFlow. Google is not reachable. What? The live stream is still going. Yeah, it's still going. Okay. So there's there's touch VPN that we can connect to. That sort of give us access to experience. Fortunately now we won't touch VPN, it's not. Okay, it's connecting. Yeah, connected. And now we should be able to access. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. That's cool. So custom node. So this is how we handle custom node, which was what we changed. Right. On change. This is what it is, and like we're able to like make changes and sort of thing, right? And you can see we have our handle, and you see we have the use memo. Maybe, just maybe, we can just do use memo. Maybe after implementing memo, we still have to, after doing memo here, like we are memoizing it here, we also have to do a use memo, like it's suggested here, right? So let's do that. So here we have, we're doing use memo, and we're copying everything we have in here, pasting it here, right? And we are passing node type, right? And I'm expecting that we're not going to be having the problem anymore in the console. So let's reload. It's loading. Can be having slow network. But let's check what we want to check before we get rid of this stuff. Is we already deal with the use memo. So yeah, I think that's exactly what we want to do here. So let's put off the VPN because that's affecting our network. So now in here we have this. So let's check. You see we are having position. Y is 100. So let's say that is 200. So that's 200. And reload this page. The network is slow. So the network is pretty slow. So yeah, that's yourself. Now so we do so reload. What's intervene? What's this? Okay. Let's go to dashboard, client added. Let's rerun this. And then reload this as well. So if this doesn't really work, if the network is really this bad, we might have to put an end to the live and continue tomorrow. But we have gotten to the point like we built the node, right? The how the node is going to be looking like, right? And one thing that we're going to be implementing is that there's going to be states for the node settings, right? There's going to be the states for the node settings. So that state is what we're going to be focusing on, so that you see now we're having this. So these node settings, we need to make sure it always comes this small, right? So that we have enough space, right? Unless it's expanded, then we have to make sure like this sort of resets. But that's not really a big problem. What we need to add as well is that we need to add this. We want to make sure like this has like a plus button below, just like we have for that's like Zapier has, right? You see they have this down and like you can add a step sort of a thing. We want to have that so that you also have steps. And one thing is we don't want you dragging the node around. We don't want you dragging the node around. We don't want you doing that at all. Because if you look at what we have here, you can sort of drag the node around and we don't really want that. So to stop that, so we do node draggable, right? We say it's false, right? So if you come back, you see we can't drag the nodes anymore. And then we do node connectable, because if you look here, you can these and reconnect, right? And reconnect this. We don't want that. We don't want you to connecting it. Like we don't want people to be connecting that. We don't want the user to be connecting that. So you shouldn't be able to connect this anymore. So okay, it's not showing the connection. So let's check what else. So we have on node click what we want to happen. We want to show the stuff there. And let's see if we go to Zapier and we do delete on the node. You can't delete the node and you can't delete the connection either. So let's do connection. Connection end. So we don't want you deleting connection. Delete Yeah, on edge delete. I think that is what we want to on edge delete. We want to return false. I don't want to just do false something. Okay, that still doesn't work. That doesn't work. So we need to stop deleting of the connection and the deleting of the nodes as well. So not delete is supposed to be a function, but we need to stop that. We don't want it possible. We don't end up deleting the nodes. Let's check. Prevent node delete ReactFlow. Prevent delete nodes and edges. Yeah. I think what we can do is there's a key in the nodes that deletable, I guess. I think so. There's deletable on before delete. No, they're having on before delete. So this is someone implemented a solution. So it did delete key. So let's do this. So do this. We fit the view, and then fitting the view is a bad idea. I'm going to set the zoom level and everything. So I'm going to reload. We're just waiting. Yeah. Okay, so you cannot delete. Right, you see you cannot delete now. So that is the option that we're talking about. Yeah, cool. So you can't delete this, you can't delete the node. We need this node hidden. Right, we need this node setting hidden. Let's create a state. Let's do store. Shortcut. Let's say store in the workflow, and then we do node settings.ts. So we're using sustand, yeah. So sustand. So let's check sustand. So that's the sustand documentation. Reports from sustand. I think I have to install sustand. No, I don't have to. So we have the create store, the store API, the use store. So choose an example, right? So we have this. But one thing that we know is that we want to use TypeScript. So we'll have to set the types. So, because you have to set the state. So what we want to do is show, right? We want to do the show, and we want to do the data, which is, and we want to do the set show to be state, and we have show to be show state, show to be show, right? Set show, you pass in data as well, which can be optional, or a record of string for now, right? And you have data in there. To be data or empty, right? Show it's gonna be bool. So develop data is going to be get just like setting it. That's all. So we can do TypeScript, right? Let's check this. I think this guy uses TypeScript, so I just want to check how we do that. No, this is not TypeScript. This is just find out there. So this is also not my JavaScript. This person is not using TypeScript either. So let's first use this, right? So it's going to be use node settings. Okay. Then we'll come in here. Right, we come in here and then we do show node settings equals to use node settings. So you have to export I think that's how we do it. So the state and then the state dot show. I think that is how it is. So here we can have it P show node sentence. If the show isn't, if it is not, it is hidden, else it's empty. So let's see. Let's see. Now it's eating, and here we can set the node state. So if we come into the node settings, node element, and then we do const set node settings equals use node settings, and then say state, and then we do state dot set show, right? And then we can have whenever the card is on click, you can say is set node settings, and we pass in true, and we pass in just an empty. So when you click on this, you see now this shows, right? And then the data will be passed along with it. So we're going to be implementing something like that, right? And then we're going to start dealing with what this page is going, what this page is going to look like. And let's change this, the background here for the responsible panel. Class name BG white. Class. Yep. So then we implement the content that is going to be there, like the account connection and the apps, the actions. So that is what we're going to be implementing in our next video. So in our next video, we're going to be adding this plus button and also this space. We might have our own as collapsible. Instead of having it like this, we can have it as collapsible, or we can probably have it like this. But for simplicity, I think collapsible is way easier. So we need to add a close button as well here. Yeah, we can add that in node settings. Absolutely. So let's say we have a button, and then it's X that we just put there, and then we do on click, we pass exactly what we have here, we send it here, right? And then we do this, we do false, right? And we can have an H1, this node settings, and now if we go to that, you see when I click on the X, you see it closes. You click on the content, right? It opens. So we're gonna start using state way more, right? State management way more to be handling some of these stuffs, and also the selected node, right? We know which node is selected, which data we are dealing with, and we'll be able to set the data right from these data props, right? So instead of like passing the props from like component to component and like passing it from here, right? Instead of having to pass it from here, we won't be doing that. What we'll be doing is that we will be adding, like we'll be using the state. We can call the state anywhere, right? So we adding this, adding the state, adding to the state, removing from the state. So these are also going to be coming from the states as well, right? Yeah, so that's also going to be coming from the states. We'll have to change this one as well. And yeah, so in the next video we're going to be adding the plus button here, right? So that you can add the plus. Whenever you click on the plus, in between it adds nodes in between, right? And we do the same thing here, right? That you'll be able to add more nodes there. And when that is done, we start building out just a basic view of what this node settings is going to look like, right? And that'll probably be the end of tomorrow video. And by Wednesday, we're going to start going into the sort of like the back end, or building out the skeleton of how uh, the workflow is going to work in the back end. Like, we're going to start building out the nodes, like webhook, like um, email, right? Some of these functions we can, you know, we build out the types and stuff, and then we'll be able to like call, send from there to the back to the front end, and be able to like display some of them, the properties that are needed, and everything is going to come in here. So um so I'll see you guys tomorrow, and this is going to be the conclusion of today's live. Thank you guys, see you tomorrow.